Hey, welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. So excited about today's episode because it's someone who's a very dear friend of mine, someone who I admire and have so much respect for. She's someone like a kind of a personal hero that I hope that when I'm her age, that I've got the ambition and the drive and the vision and the business sense and the passive income that she has. And that's going to be today's topic. For those that know me, know my passion is to help you think bigger. Because when you think bigger, your business grows and your options and impact grow. And the world gets to be a better place. So let me begin before I fully introduce her, just saying thank you to Linda Quinn for joining us on today's episode.
Thanks, Justin. I'm enjoying this.
Good. So for those that don't know Linda, she's been in the real estate industry for 43 years. And by being around her, you would guess that she's been in for 5 years, not because of her experience, but just because of the energy that she has. She is fired up and rearing to go, and just such an inspiration to all of us. 25 years ago, Linda, you began collecting properties, as I like to call it. And I know you've taught a number of times wealth building through real estate. I actually have a group on Facebook called Wealth Building Through Real Estate. Would encourage any and all that are interested in learning from Linda to go find that Facebook group. Let's talk a little bit about why you started to do that, Linda. Why it was so important for you to start to create passive income. Many years ago.
So I had met with a financial planner in about 1990, and he began telling me that I had to save $1,000 a month, and then I could retire at 65, and my income would be $5,000 a month. But that was prefaced on an 8% a year return. And I was single with 4 kids at home, and I was thinking, where in the heck am I going to get $1,100 a month? So I knew real estate, and I began thinking, okay, I've read enough books by Robert Allen and some of the other guys that were really gurus in the rental real estate. I'm going to do this. And that's how I got started.
So you realize that as many real estate agents have recognized, there's no pension, there's no 401k. There's no built-in retirement plan. And I joked as I was opening this, the post that I put out there is that most agents don't want to be marketing properties when they're past a certain age, right? When they're kind of like senile. Now, the beautiful thing for someone like you who you could stop. You absolutely could stop today and live a wonderful life, but you keep going. Tell us a little bit about that you choose to. Well, you're not in the business because you have to. You're in the business because you choose to.
Yeah, I really get up every morning excited about what I do and finding out where the challenges are. I'm really excited about where it's going to go. I think for me, it's an opportunity to see how much can I achieve. And I feel like it's limitless. As far as passive income comes, I've got 3 streams of income coming in right now. And I want to see where it's going to go. I don't know what I would do if I didn't do real estate. I'd sit home and eat my bonbons. It just makes sense to me.
I think real estate and really any business is a great place to be when you are there because you want to be there. I think nothing is good if you're there because you have to be there, right?
Right.
And, the nice thing about your situation is you could say, hey, team, I'm done today. I'm going to go tour the world. For you, like you said, your passion is more about how much more can I get done? How many more lives can I impact? How many more streams of wealth can I create? Which is so inspiring because there's a whole group of people that benefit because you choose to do that, right? Maybe there's some beach vendors that would benefit by having Linda Quinn there with a Mai Tai in her hand and purchasing some puka shells. But I think, your talents and abilities are probably better served by driving this industry forward and teaching and training your decades of wisdom. So I commend you for your commitment to the industry and to just thinking bigger, right? You're the classic big thinker of I don't want to stop like that. How boring would that be?
Well, Warren Buffett didn't stop,
True.
So we're both in the same boat. I feel like I would like to contribute to other agents.
Yeah. To
be able to give them the same benefits. I'm doing a little bit of mentoring and training right now, which is great. And it leads you into different things that you can get excited about.
So fun. Now let's talk about these 3 income streams. One I would imagine is your real estate business, to which you still are a top producer. In fact, we spoke yesterday, folks, and she was like, "Hey, I'm just doing my prospecting calls." Like, how fun is that you're sitting after it? So that's one. Again, you and your amazing daughter, Ann Stewart, are top producers, validated through and through. You guys are legitimate, big producers, have a great team operationally as well as sales-wise, just doing some great things and really doing well by the customer. Again, I've got the good fortune of, being connected to you in business, and you guys really do some great work for the customer. So that's one, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second one is my income stream from rental income, real estate. And I own, my husband and I we own about 25 properties. I do the property management because I want to. I do everything from turnover and remodeling and whatever you can think about when you think rental real estate. And that brings in a significant amount of money. I don't take any income off that because I am currently paying off my mortgages and I have very few left. So I could retire just off rental real estate.
So you've got 25 properties, and at some point in the near future, those will be free and clear. You'll just be collecting complete rent checks from that. Like what a great situation. Let's talk about that income stream before we move on to the third. What advice would you have a real estate agent who maybe is like, I know I need to do that, but I haven't got there yet, or I've only got one. I know I need to get more. Like what's easier, the mindset shift or the budgetary shift at home to where they can start affording these? Is there some point at which this clicked for you, and or which you've helped other people to be like, okay, I got to make this a priority like now?
Well, if you just look at what you need for retirement, Justin, I've done the math on this. When we teach classes, I ask the audience, how much do you want to retire with per year? And almost invariably, they say $100,000 a year. But the future value of $1 in 20 years, if that's the time it takes to get to retirement, is $180,000 they need every single year to live 20 more years, not counting the 3% inflation rate that would probably exist. And so at $180,000 a year for 20 years, you need $2.67 million in the bank to be able to produce that kind of income to sustain $100,000 a year of what we're living right now. So I would think that should drive a little bit of anxiety in most real estate agents' guts and to try this. It isn't that difficult to do. Back in the days, I've always saved, since about 1990, I've always saved about half of my income into, reserves for buying extra properties. But, they always say pay yourself first. You need to really think about paying yourself first now, because 20 years from now, you're going to be looking at something that's frightening, I think. So that's exactly why I started that program.
So money comes in from your primary real estate business. You have obviously a lot out to pay expenses, pay taxes. Then of what's left, you take 50% and live off that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So I have very little, don't drive my visas up. I'm pretty frugal. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I save 50% of whatever's left for whatever I want to do investing.
Which, I think is a great indicator for real estate agents that they probably need to be producing at a higher level than they do. I think there's, there's oftentimes we tend to produce and work about as hard as we need to survive. Yet what we're not considering is that there's going to be some years ahead of us where we're not going to want to work as hard as we are now. Now, unless you're Linda Quinn, right? But for most people, right, they actually need to be accounting for those years that they're going to want to be out of the business. And so actually producing, if you're just kind of breaking even right now, they really need to double their production, don't they, in order to create that space and that extra to be able to go invest.
Yeah. Or Justin, the other thing they need to do is not live and spend everything they make.
Yeah.
I mean, buying new cars and, boats, those are all depreciable items, right? They need to consider what they can do in their life that makes them happy without expending and doing all the kinds of things that consumers do. And, I still drive an 11-year-old car. I visit Goodwill regularly. I love the treasure hunting. So the reality is you can have a fabulous life without it being extravagant and then having nothing left at the end to show for it.
Mm. Yeah, you're right. There's either double production and or take a good hard look at what's going out the door, right?
Right.
I've heard it said before that if you want to get rich, sell stuff to real estate agents, right? One thing is the expenditures, like the expenditures in your business can be draining, but then also, I don't know about you, but it seems like real estate agents tend to have some of the nicest cars in the world. And sometimes without the income to necessarily produce that, there's an image that's trying to be portrayed without necessarily the financial backing. And you've obviously done very well, right? There's, I think, this myth that unless I drive a really nice car, people aren't going to hire me. And your car is very nice, right? But it's 11 years old. And you've obviously gotten past this myth of like, I need to have a brand new car, or people are gonna think I'm not successful and I'm not a good real estate agent, right? You've worked around that maybe false narrative.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't need the fanciest house on the corner or whatever, but I do need that security, and that drove me to get that security tied up.
Yeah, great. Okay, so those are your two income streams. Let's talk about the third, which I think is really interesting. You see a number of companies, real estate companies, who have adopted a similar strategy, which is kind of creating a retirement for agents if they take it seriously, right?
Exactly.
It's profit share and, or in your case, revenue share. Talk to us a little bit about that and what that, because from what you told me before, to get to the point where your second income stream, meaning your real estate portfolio, is producing at the level it is, you've got $2 million tied up in that, correct?
I do, yeah. Okay. But they are worth about 3 times that now.
Okay. Wow.
So that's good.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Yes, it's very exciting. It is giving me the stability to be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So this third one is one that I know you're fired up, excited about, and maybe it's a solution for some who don't have the runway to be able to produce the passive income via rental properties that you have. Talk to us a little bit about that and how that's come about.
So last September, we took a hard look at this new brokerage that really hadn't had any notoriety in Oregon yet. And it ends up being that you've got the opportunity to be awarded stock that was on NASDAQ, and you have the opportunity of developing a revenue stream that can be gone into your retirement and then passed on to your family after you pass. And it was so amazing. The business model was so amazing that we had to leave our last brokerage, and we did that in like 2 weeks. We were so excited. It has turned out to be everything we thought it was. Just in, you get stock awards for selling your first property every year. You get stock awards if you attract agents. If you sell the cap, which is about $3 million, and then 20 more homes after that, they give you your cap back in stock, which is amazing. You're building a huge portfolio of retirement stock. I paid, stock when we started was about $7 a share, and now it's 11 something a share. So it's growing as the company grows. We're onboarding 1,500 agents per month right now. And the other issue we can buy stock at a 20% discount from the company. There's just all kinds of ways to produce stock. Now, some people don't care about stock. Some people love stock. So that wasn't my main reason for coming to this company, but it was the revenue stream. And what's pretty attractive about that is it's a 3-year vesting period. If you attract an agent to the company, and they are capping, which means that they pay $16,000 a year to the brokerage, you get $2,800 a year every year there at the company. The exciting part of that is that it's not too hard to find agents that are interested in looking at this company from a standpoint of what can it do for me as far as benefits. It's an incredible company that does have no brick and mortar. So we have no franchises. We're all operating our offices in the cloud. And it gives us the opportunity to be more collaborative, more, there's the culture. I didn't think we'd have culture. My gosh, we have far more culture than I've had in any of my previous brokerages. I know it's hard to imagine, but we're very close. And the revenue stream, if you're attracting an agent, and if they attract agents, then you also get revenue stream of $3,200 for the agents that they attract every year, and it goes deep 7 levels. So you can produce an incredible revenue stream that you can take into your retirement just off this. And it is so much fun to talk to agents about this opportunity.
So for fear that this sounds like a commercial for a particular brokerage, right? You know, I can sense your excitement and your passion for what you're doing, which is fun. Talk about the numbers, because again, we're Switzerland here on the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. Our job is to find stuff that works and helps agents. But I want to have you share some of the results. You've obviously your passive income stream from your second stream, which is your real estate, is in the 5 figures, right? You've got
yes.
Dozens of thousands of dollars coming in every month. Just talk to us about in 8 months what's happened with your revenue stream in the third one, and then we'll wrap up with our final question.
Okay. Last month's revenue stream was about $5,600, and it's growing every month. And I expect that to triple or quadruple within a year, because the agents are so excited about developing their own revenue streams that they're building an organization underneath me. And at the present time, I have about 118 agents that we're working with in our organization right now. And our leaders are incredible. I mean, they actually fly out to do seminars with us or help us, when we're talking to a larger agent that needs a little bit more not hand holding, but, talking to some of the bigger agents. Yeah.
So just to kind of recap that revenue stream, you've got, again, dozens of thousands of dollars coming in from your second stream. Your third one, you believe will pass it here within the next year or so is what you're predicting. Is that right? I mean, it's currently about a fifth based on the math that I'm doing in my head. It's about a fifth, and you're guessing that will quickly surpass what you've accumulated and really put in $2 million of your own money tied up in order to create, which is an interesting model, right? And I'm not here to endorse any particular company or brand, but I know that multiple companies out there have revenue or profit sharing opportunities. And I think for real estate agents, really the big opportunity is to really take a look at what am I doing to prepare myself for stormy seas ahead, right? Obviously in 2008, 2009 was not fun times for real estate agents, and not having any passive income coming in was really, really challenging, if not devastating to most. And the same can be true of the retirement years. And it's fun to hear innovation in real estate. It's fun to hear people like you at your wise years, so passionate and fired up about building. And I just want to thank you for what you've shared. Linda, let's end with this question, just because we want this episode to remain kind of short, sweet, and digestible. Tell us, what is something that you do on a regular basis? I mean, if you could give advice to people to say, you've been a big thinker for a long, long time, and have been expanding your own possibilities, even now, right? Even into your golden years. What would you say would be advice that you would have for the rest of us that would love to be like Linda Quinn, that would love to be as fired up, ambitious, passionate, and a big thinker at your age? Teach us, please.
I would say don't be complacent. Okay. Don't be comfortable. You don't grow if you're comfortable. Open to opportunity. If explore. A very wise man a few years ago said to me, every year he interviewed different brokerages here in town to find out what they had to offer. And I'd never thought about that. How wise is that to know if you're getting the best that you can get out here and it serves you well? I would just say, once you get out of complacency, you can get fired up because the possibilities are endless. And that's what's so exciting and keeps me moving every morning, is knowing, gosh, this could, I could work into my 80s, truthfully, with these particular income streams. And at some point, just stop selling real estate and just do the other two, the rental and the revenue sharing.
So fun to hear. You've inspired me to want to set my goals differently. I think most people think of their like retirement years of like, there's this end date of when life begins. And like, I've as like the people that I admire most in life, and you're right up there, they don't think that way, right? It's like, how much life do I have? I want to wear it out, right? I want to go to the end. I want to like sprint to the finish line. I don't want to like walk the last lap, for heaven's sake. I want to sprint to the end. And
Right.
it's really, it's really inspiring to have you share, and just hearing your passion. Obviously, you're passionate about your brokerage model, and your other revenue streams. And I would say for anybody out there, find something that fires you up, whether it's what Linda's excited about or whether it's some other portion of real estate. But if you're not fired up, you're not doing something right, right? Maybe you're complacent, like Linda's saying. Maybe there's something missing, a mentor missing. Seek that out. But my goodness, life's too short to be walking laps when we could be sprinting into our 80s and beyond. So, Linda, I want to thank you so much for pouring the value that you have into the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. We have some fun guests here sharing all kinds of fun stuff. So I'd encourage people to comment and come take a look at the comments, and please reach out to Linda if you have any questions on her strategies. I know I've learned a lot from her investment strategy, sat through her class multiple times. She's truly an expert when it comes to real estate investing, and really lives what she teaches. So thank you again, Linda. It's been a total pleasure as always. And thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Think Bigger Real Estate Show.
Thanks, Justin. Have a great day.
My pleasure.